Hey guys, JK here. I wanted to do a quick character overview of KANON because I finally got her up to job 11 mastered and everything like that. So with her stats, as you see them right now, I mean her attack is probably like 299 without the weapon on, but I've seen it go as high as 380s and HP as high as 540s or so at level 70, and probably equipment upgraded and everything like that. So she's fairly okay as far as stats go, but it's really not enough to tank even like two of those falling edges from the demons in the extra level. So you do want to you're gonna have to consider how to build her to make her a little bit tankier. She's a little bit squishy as it is right now. Her ability sets, which I don't think I've fully upgraded yet. Holy Order Blade. Double Slash is kind of your go-to attack. It does a good amount of damage, and of course when you do skills you don't trigger counters, which is very important, especially in that extra level. Teachings of the Order, this further raises your light and dark resistance, and she already has a passive dark resistance as is, which I'll get to. Kemiya Burst is, basically if you're surrounded, you can do a cross shape AoE around yourself. Pretty expensive, and you're probably not going to use that too much. And then Evasive Formation is just kind of a desperate measure in order to survive by raising your evasion by 40%. I've already gone over this in a different video, but I just wanted to kind of make this a little bit more complete, I guess, as an overview. And then she has Armor Break, chance of lowering PDEF, physical defense, Paralyzed Break. I've seen people try to use this to avoid getting countered, but I would just suggest maybe using Double Cut. It's cheaper, and it does more damage. First Aid recovers your own HP. From my experience, this is actually very weak. I was pretty disappointed. For 24 jewels, I kind of was hoping that it was a way to sustain yourself. You could run around and heal yourself and get back into the fight, but it was doing like 80 something HP, so it's really not that useful as it is right now. And then Charge Break, which basically interrupts skill charge. This is useful, of course, if you're up against mages or things like that. So pretty basic skill set. Jewel Recharge is, works a lot like the Magic Swordsman counter ability, which absorbs jewels. Anti-Alchemy War Arts just raises her slash attack, which is basically all of her attacks. And Holy Order's Barrier, this is what I was talking about. This raises her dark resistance passively. So pretty basic skill set. And then of course with the Gurren Blade, she's able to get more jewels, more attack, more fire res, and she can it unlocks her Miracle Cannon Slash, which is pretty decent. So why don't we just go ahead and jump into a easy quick game here, just show off the skills. Not really a whole lot to showcase right now, but I can kind of talk about my experiences with her as I go. The first question right off the bat is probably, is she better than Logi? And I would say, in my opinion, at this moment, she is not. Logi is tankier. He has ranged options. He has, ways to boost his defense considerably and all that stuff. He just seems to be a more solid character right now. Plus, he can go to level 85, where she's stuck at 70. Okay, so that was a regular attack. Let me just go ahead and show. Okay, I'll do Double Slash. So her regular attack on this guy, it is elemental advantage. It would do 649, but with the Double Slash, it's 916. So that's a pretty nice, almost 50% boost. And again, it doesn't trigger the counters and stuff like that. But yeah, Logi just seems more solid overall. She is a lot of fun to use, and she's pretty unique right now. Not a lot of people using her yet, because it is so hard to build her up, I guess. What else can I show here? Okay, I'll try to get the Alchemist Burst in, and I'll try to get her master ability in. Let me just show you. First Aid would do 89 heal if I were to do it right now. So yeah, it's pretty underwhelming. It's like a desperate measure, and she's generally, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna really have jewels to spare to be spamming that. She has to get in melee range all the time, and she starts out with a low jewel count. They should have reduced the jewel cost for that ability. I mean, I would have even thought it was fair if it was like 8 jewels, but 24 is like a lot for that kind of heal. Alright, so let's get our jewels up a little bit more. 554. Okay. But yeah, I mean, Logi, like when you're fighting up against a demon, you know, he can pick them off from afar. He starts out with enough starting jewels to jump right into his master ability, which is pretty huge. I'm gonna have to wait here actually to get this guy closer to me. And she starts out pretty low. Of course, there are ways to get her to enough jewels to do 2 double slashes maybe, but I don't think there's any possible way to get her to start out with her master ability available like there is with Logi. So at this time, I think he's definitely the better character. Kemiya Burst, let's try that. So that's what it looks like, all the surrounding squares. Very much like roundhouse kick or whirlwind kick. Okay, doesn't look too fancy, but you know, it does hit everything around her. So yeah, I mean, if you're trying to build her up for that extra level and to combat the demons, I would say you're probably better off with your Logi. But if you're doing it for fun and you just like this character, which is very understandable, then by all means go for it. I mean, I semi-rushed it too, although I am not like, you know, using all my AP to farm her up anymore. But okay, so Miracle Cannon Slash, this is probably the best attack that she has, 918. Let's compare that with this, 740. So her normal attack would do 530, double slash would do 740, and then her Miracle Cannon Slash would do 918. So if you do this against the demons, as I am right now, kind of in the weak semi-maxed out state, it does about 1300. But if you are kind of maxed out and built up better, I have seen it go like 1600 plus, which is good. Not like crazy good, but it is very good. And that's pretty much my overview of her. Very fun character, cool character, but definitely needs a few more abilities or something to be really strong and viable. Well, I would say she's viable right now, but she's not like, you know, top tier or anything like that. If you're going to be using her, it's basically because you like the character. So anyway, hope you guys liked the overview. I thought it was pretty interesting once I got her done to test her out. I guess I will talk about one more thing just real quick. When you're farming for her job levels, the most painful part by far is when you're farming for these boots, because when you're farming for them, you get like 0 some runs, maybe 1 or 2, and it's a lot of AP to be using for something that seems kind of low and useless. And this loot, the other kinds of loot is stuff that you can just buy or you have a ton of anyway. So it feels pretty painful. But once you get up to maybe job, I forgot, it was like job 8, job 9, something like that, you can start farming for these blue dresses. And this is actually pretty decent. You can still get 0 per run, but if you collect all the chests and everything in this level, I use 2 melee characters, 2 range characters, you can get up to 5, I've seen, although it's rare. Typically you'll get 1 or 2. But the other good thing is that the loot is all really good stuff, like Sacred Lion Blade shards, Compass shards, Great Lance, and all this stuff. Like, you're not feeling like it's a waste of AP because you're getting good stuff all around. So it does ease the burden of raising her job level somewhat. And then, you know, once you get up to job 11, you're gonna basically have this for free, Holy Order Scabbard, right off the bat. So I was able to just max her out as soon as I got her to job 11. And job 11 is when you unlock Holy Order's Barrier, which is very unique because typically all the passives and things like that are unlocked by job 6. But this one you have to wait until job 11. So okay, that's the overview. Hope I covered everything. Let me know if I was off on anything. Maybe I missed some reason why she's OP right now. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything that indicates that she's OP, but she is a fun character and she's a nice option if you don't want to use your Logi. So take care, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.